You're alone in the desert when all of a sudden you start hearing your own voice calling for you from the shadows. It's not a man, but he's wearing the skin of animals. He's stealing your voice and is vanishing into the darkness. Today we're exploring one of the most feared creatures in all of Native American folklore, the Skinwalker, the shapeshifters of the Navajo people. Welcome back to PheelsBad Lore, where we dive deep into all monsters, myths, and folklores that's hidden in the shadows. New videos every week, so if you like a good nightmare, you're in the right place. So, what exactly is a Skinwalker? Well, in Navajo culture, a Skinwalker or Hinalushi means with it goes on all fours. The name alone gives you a bit of a hint of what it is, but in essence, it's a witch who's transformed into animals. It isn't just some comic book power, it's black, forbidden, dangerous magic. Skinwalkers are said to be former medicine men or women, better known as shamans, who turn to dark rituals as they sacrifice their humanity in exchange for speed, power, and the ability to shapeshift into any creature or animal that they wear the skin of. This can be coyotes, owls, wolves, even bears. Typically, however, they are either depicted to have wolf fur or bear hides on them. Unlike spiritual shapeshifting, which exists in many indigenous tribes or cultures as well, Skinwalkers are universal feared. They are not protectors, they are not there to serve any purpose but to be predators, to hunt, to kill, to feed, and to create fear. So, where exactly does the legend of the Skinwalker come from? Well, I did mention it comes from the Navajo people. Well, the Navajo Nation spans across Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico, and the indigenous people of those areas, the southern of America. In this desert landscape, stories have been passed down for centuries. Stories of creatures who stalk the edges of light. Skinwalkers are not spoken about casually, however. Even discussing them in the Navajo culture is taboo for many people, and they won't even mention the name. It's believed that talking about them invites them closer, or even worse, attracts their attention and therefore the danger. That's what makes this legend so powerful. It's not just folklore, it's rooted in fear. I guess this is why Skinwalkers are rarely seen on TV or even movies. Unlike vampires or werewolves, they're never ever glorified. They're often depicted as scary monsters or even shown as a version of werewolves, which just doesn't give them justice. One Redditor even said that this silence, it's all deliberate. It's them trying to hide the fact that Skinwalkers are amongst us and they're feeding off of us. Another fun fact, some people even suggest that the Skinwalker is the Navajo equivalent of the Wendigo of the Algonquin-speaking First Nations of North America, a cultural embodiment of fear, taboo, and transformation. Both are cautionary tales born of deep beliefs and darker truths. And if you're curious about the Wendigo, the spirit of endless hunger, I've got a full video of the legend, so check that out after this. Now, without further ado, what are the powers and the abilities that Skinwalkers are said to have? Skinwalkers aren't just shape changers, they are hunters, skilled in self, illusion, and in fear. They can even mimic the voice of humans. Some say they can read minds just so they can control you and play games with you. They can even summon animals or spirits to distract you while they prey upon you. They can move impossibly fast, faster than cars on back roads. And when you lock eyes with them, it is said you're cursed. You receive a family curse that plagues you with illness, nightmares, or even worse, death. They are absolute masters of disguise, and from a distance they can look like a coyote or even a deer, but your gut will always tell you something is off. Either the legs are too long, their eyes are just human looking, or they move in unnatural ways. These abilities just further strengthen what they symbolize. Like many legends, the Skinwalker isn't just about monsters, it's about morality. They represent a deep betrayal of your community and your traditions. A medicine man using sacred powers not to heal but to harm instead. The ultimate corruption. In a way, Skinwalkers are shadows of wise men. Proof that even knowledge when twisted becomes something monstrous. They are also a reflection of isolation, wilderness, and fear. The fear of losing one's place in the natural world. In a land where survival depends on community and balance, the Skinwalker breaks its rules and puts the whole community at risk betraying what it once was. An interesting and sad story I actually came across when researching skinwalkers was the shaman of a small indigenous tribe. His whole village became sick, a plague fell down and many people got sick. In his hunt for knowledge to try and heal them, he was actually twisted and corrupted into a skinwalker, and before he even knew it, he turned into the thing he feared. He killed his whole village and was the only person standing. Yet again, a sad story of what can happen in the pursuit of knowledge and how the road to hell is paved with good intentions. This makes it even more upsetting that despite how terrifying skinwalkers are, there are surprisingly few movies and games that even cover them. And many of those movies or games just portray them so poorly it's not even worth watching. Yes, I'm talking about you, Skinwalker movie, but I guess this all comes down to the fact that in the Navajo culture it's taboo to even talk about it. Therefore, there is very little circulation of information. But there are actually a couple of films which do cover skinwalkers. One is The Missing 2003. Now, it's not blatant that it is Skinwalker, but many people suggest that it's a Skinwalker as dark magic does follow the movie, especially the main character Maggie. One show which also covered it is Skinwalker Ranch, which came out on History Channel in 2013 and is actually one of the biggest reports of real modern day sightings. Skinwalker Ranch is located in Utah's Utah Basin, and Skinwalker Ranch has had over a dozen bizarre sightings, with reports from cattle mutilation, UFO sightings. I know we're not talking about aliens, but I gotta mention it. Disappearing creatures and even glowing animals that are faster than cars and just not right. One family that lived on the ranch even reported seeing a wolf-like creature that was impervious to bullets. They shot it multiple times and it didn't even flinch, but when they blinked, it vanished into pure dust. Others in the area also report seeing figures running along the road, some even chasing down cars going 50 miles an hour. People also often say they can hear their names being whispered in the woods, in the desert, asking them to come closer. A fun game which is also speculated to have a skinwalker in it, but it's never actually been seen, so some people say it is an Easter egg, is Red Dead Redemption 2. Eerie wilderness encounters say there's skinwalkers, you just gotta be able to find them. But I guess the most popular place to see skinwalkers would be on TikTok or even YouTube Vines, as there's constant sightings coming out with strange noises, bipedal animals, and even terrifying mimics where people report hearing their names being echoed back to them. And there are some chilling videos which I saw and it actually gave me shivers. So, are skinwalkers real? Well, I guess that depends on who you ask, because for some people they're stories, and for others it's a terrifying reality, a monster lurking just side out of the light of your campfire. But one thing's for sure, if you ever find yourself driving down a desert road and you see an animal standing and it's too still, it's too long, something feels off, just keep going, and whatever you do, don't look into its eyes. So, thanks for watching guys, this is PheelsBad Lore, and if you enjoy monsters, myths, creatures, and just that line that you walk between nightmare and reality, subscribe and check out my Wendigo video, it's linked right below. So keep enjoying everything creepy and never feel bad about it.